Well, looks like I'm in the world of Toku Topics now, as there's just my name, so I guess I'll introduce myself to you. Hello people, this is PowerRider, and I'm here to take over Toku Topics for today. So most of you might be wondering, why did Josh let this doofus on his channel? Well, because Josh let me, and if you want proof, let's see what Josh has to say.
Gulp.
Oh gosh, I'm scared. I'm pretty sure Josh wasn't like this before. Josh, can you get back to me? Josh?
I need more full bottles. Be the one, alright. Okay. Be the one.
Oh gosh, I'm scared for him. I think Josh needs some serious help. He's overdosed with the power of full bottles.
There's like 60 bottles, and I need them all, and there's panels to buy, and
I'm scared. Anyways, the topic we are going to be discussing about today is how would Kyuranger vs. Zyuohger work in the finale, because spoilers.
That's the presets on the opportunity is already consensual, and you don't have to no,
So, probably because at this time episode 47 didn't air yet, but we're probably going to assume that 47 is going to be the technically quote-unquote final episode, while 48 is going to be a special of some sorts, like what Ryder has done since Driving Ghost. I just want to throw some random ideas, even though we don't have any information on it, because, you know, it's 2 weeks before the Kyuranger finale, so how we're supposed to get ideas. Anyways, before we start, let's talk about some reasons about why Kyuranger vs. Zyuohger possibly wasn't a movie. So, obviously one reason can be episode Stinger, because that's essentially the versus movie, even though it took the second slot of the Ghost Beastma. So, yeah, you know, I get that action and the explosions. Another reason can be because of how poorly the versus movies have been since the last few years, because sadly, when you compare them to the Ryder ones, especially recent years with Heisei generations, they're just typical. The versus movies are basically the Show Movie Tyson Genesis, except with no continuity errors. That's how they basically are. They're typical and they're simple. And also probably because of the fact that the X8 Visumas are actually having a limited theatrical run, that maybe they are like, well, we can't release a versus movie. And last but not least, maybe for the Zyuohgers, a versus movie wasn't in their contracts. I want to give two specific examples. Technically 3. Before we get into that, let's get into the reason why people think this movie wasn't going to happen. Because Tusa's actor, Tsuruyu Watanabe, he got into a bicycle accident and crashed into a mother and a child. It was very minor, but that's what made people think, oh, so that's why the movie isn't happening. Okay, I'm going to respond with that every time someone mentions it. I don't know, it kind of bothers me, because that's not really the reason why it's not happening. So what I mean by the versus movie was probably not in their contracts is that, because obviously with the previous years and such, a versus movie is in the actor's contract, which means they can't well, I guess you can, but I don't think it's recommended, but you have to look as close to your character from a year ago basically. I guess I can just quickly overview the others. Yamato's actor, he was in a movie called Bow Then Kiss. I don't really know much about it. Then he also reprised his role as Yamato for Dino Force Brave / Kyuranger Brave, because Zyuohger is the next series that was going to be adapted in Korea, so
it makes sense. Why not bring him back?
Whale's actor, I don't know what he's done. He did a photo book. That's all I know.
So Misato's actor, he's actually in another show called Mob Psych 100, which is based off of manga, and it has a lot of Toku actors. For example, it has Riku from Jeed, it has Kasumi from the Ninja, and I think it has Takatora, and there's many more. And it's also directed by Koji Sakamoto, so I wonder why Jeed's actor. So that brings us to, I guess, obviously, Miki, Yanagi, and Haruka Tateshi. Pushing Miki aside, let's talk about Haruka Tateshi. She's actually been in several things after Zyuohger. Like, for example, she was in a music video. She's made guest appearances on other shows, obviously not like, you know, Kurazamu, but like, she's just been in like other shows just once. But recently, she's gonna actually have a main role in a Amiibo TV series called Only Voices Angels. I don't know what it's about, it's interesting, and also she's actually going to appear in a movie called 400,001, that's the English translation at least, and it's going to be the summer of 2018, so great, summer blockbusters. Oh yeah, I also forgot that she appeared in Joel Superhero Tyson, like we know how great of a movie that was. Even she's confused. Who was all of it? Amu was always passing. Then that brings us to Miki Yanagi, so if we can bring her back here, we got a lot to talk about. So basically at the end of the production of Zyuohger, Miki, just like Haruka, went on to do other things. So first of all, she dyed her hair blonde for the role of Mikage Mikuraya for Futari Monologue. So after that, she bleached her hair, I think, so then it could be orange and such. I don't really know, but the next show she appeared in was in Sakura no Yakudan. Then, just like Haruka, she appeared in a music video. Yay, same gags. So then, recently, she's actually going to appear in a show called Kakeguri, which also stars Michi's actor, and it has Pulpy's actor too, so it's a Gaim and X8 and Zyuohger crossover that we needed, because that's better than Joel Superhero Tyson.
And now people are gonna like, oh no, Miki cut her hair. How is she supposed to be Sella? Curse you, Amu! Curse you!
Okay, so after all that reasoning, let's finally get into how Kyuranger vs. Zyuohger will happen in the show. Okay, so I'm pretty sure 47 is going to be the endgame thing, even though at this time of recording it did not air yet. So these are just speculations, even though barely any information is given out. So let's just start. One way how they can integrate the Zyuohgers into Kyuranger is, I don't know, like, they go back to the Battle Orient ship, they see a collage of Q-Tamas, they just randomly pick one and just go, and like, you know, I guess when they're in trouble or something, Lucky just picks out the Q-Tama, he doesn't know what it is, he's like, oh, what is this one? Just like with the X8 Q-Tama. It's basically the X8 Q-Tama all over again. You know, Lucky's gonna like insert it and it's like saves the attack, and like all the Zyuohgers show up, and like, you know, it's the same roll call from like Dino Force Brave / Kyuranger Brave, something like that, and they're like, yeah, thank you, and like Yamato's like, yeah, nice to meet you, and then they're like, bye, then they disappear. So a second way they can integrate the Zyuohgers is without using the Q-Tama, or I guess they're still going to use the Q-Tama, but instead it sends the Kyurangers to technically the main Sentai continuity. No, I think Zyuohger's in a different continuity. I don't know. I was just going to say it sends the Kyurangers into the main Sentai continuity, and you know, they meet them from there and such, and yeah. Obviously it can't be a two-parter because 48 is the last episode. So it can't be like the Gokaiger 2-parter from Zyuohger, sadly, but I don't know. And last but not least is that they can somehow put the Zyuohgers into the Visuma. Now, rumors have been speculating that the Kyuranger Visuma is not going to be returned, because honestly, I don't think Kyuranger needs to return to Visuma, but instead it's going to be a versus Visuma. So the Sentai versus movies are actually going to return to Visuma format, because the last one was actually Kyuranger versus PowerRider. So this one's rumored to be Kyuranger versus Space Squad. Space Squad was the Visuma between Kyuranger and Gavon Type G. So it makes sense to put in them together. So that'll be interesting. I wouldn't know how you integrate the Zyuohgers into it, because at that point it's going to feel cluttered because of the fact that Space Squad is comprised of basically any space themed Sentai teams and metal heroes. So the Zyuohgers are going to feel really out of place because they're not space themed nor metal heroes. So that's basically the conclusion of how to integrate Zyuohgers into Kyuranger. I'm going to say the first option is possibly going to happen. The first two, well, somewhat the second one, they have to release that Zyuohger Q-Tom somehow. If the Zyuohgers do show up in the finale of Kyuranger, I wouldn't really mind it, but it would have been cool if it was a 2-parter, so I don't know, if they somehow ended the story on 46, and then, you know, having the 2-parter, I would have liked that, but honestly then Kyuranger would have felt rushed by the end, so I'm kind of happy they didn't. One thing I have to say, that if the Zyuohgers do show up in the finale, they should do the Q-Tama dance. That's all I'm saying. So, Josh, do you have anything else to say? Kids, this is why you don't drink full bottles. By the way, Josh, you have a hazard level of 3.7, so have fun trying to use the Scotch driver. I hope you die from it. So how do I end this? What does Josh normally say? Okay, so I got footage of Josh, so let's just see what he does. Gotta make sure the volume's up, and...
Be sure to follow me on Twitter at PowerRider335. That's Toku Toy.
Forget that. No, I'm not going to advertise my videos by self-advertising. You're now at a hazard level of 2.7. You can't use the build driver anymore. Take that, sucker. So, I'm going to close my video by saying, if you haven't yet, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I review toys. Why? Because I'm sad. So yeah, this is PowerRider, and I'll leave you people. See you!